Hi and welcome to another one of our exciting videos. Seriously, before we get started, I just want to give you a double thumbs up on behalf of everyone in the Learner Success team at Mr. Wed. You know, obviously you're making good progress through this formal training you've made at this stage, so well done. Keep moving ahead and keep up the great work. And I say that particularly at the start of today's video because you've been very generous in allowing us to explain all this stuff about the ACSF and the Australian Core Skills Framework, and you've obviously been a very diligent student working your way through the program. But for some of you, you may be thinking, why do I care? Why do I need to know this stuff? What is the relevance? And if you're thinking about that, this video is designed to help you, because this video is all about how the ACSF can be used, because everything you've been learning is very practical and very important and very valuable for trainers and assessors. This video is designed to give you an insight into why that makes sense. So let's start by talking about the ACSF and why it's been developed. And basically it was developed to facilitate a consistent national approach across all the states and territories of Australia, not just Queensland, but all the states and territories. It's designed to create consistency, having that national approach to the identification and development of the core skills. And it is a leading world product in terms of identifying LLN deficiencies and giving us a structure. It's all about consistency. But specifically, there are 5 ways that the ACSF can be used. So let's dive into those 5. The first of them relates to benchmarking, and it allows us to benchmark an individual's core skills performance. The ACSF can be used to identify and describe an individual's performance in any of the core skills at any point in time. The framework's specificity makes it possible to identify a person's areas of strength and need with some precision, so that training can be targeted to relevant areas with progress monitored over time. The ACSF can also be used to develop core skills profiles of learner cohorts, so not just one person, but a group of people. So it gives us the chance to quantify people's skills. Second, it gives us the chance to map the core skills requirements in education and training. So the ACSF can be used to map the requirements of any education and training course or unit of competency in order to clarify and articulate the core skills expectations, priorities, and gaps. So it gives us the chance to compare somebody's performance and their levels against what's required by training and education. And one of my favourite parts of this whole program is the magic spiky profile, which is what allows you to do that. And you will get introduced to the spiky profile very soon, I promise. Third is tailoring approaches. And we're tailoring those approaches to teaching and learning. Following the mapping of the course requirements and materials, we can identify the learner's strengths and weaknesses. In fact, the ACSF can be used to tailor the curriculum, the materials and methodologies to learner needs. It can design and rate core skills assessment instruments. It can evaluate the potential usefulness of assessment tasks. It can develop self-evaluation tools, and it can provide assistance to teachers and trainers to provide specific feedback on performance. So much value. The ACSF is very, very handy in allowing us to organise and tailor our approaches to teaching and learning so that our students are the winners. Number 4 is that the ACSF provides great value in terms of describing the core skills relevant to the workplace and employment. So not only can we use the ACSF relevant to training, but we can also use it for the workplace and employment as well. Exactly the same system, exactly the same approaches. The ACSF enables LLN practitioners to identify and discuss core skill issues with others in the workplace. It can also be used by specialist LLN practitioners to identify the core skill requirements of a job in order to provide appropriate support and training for someone moving into a new position. And then there's number 5. Number 5, Mr. Happy Face is introducing it to us because it informs decisions regarding funding and referrals. So the Australian Core Skills Framework has been accepted universally throughout Australia as the way that LLN deficiencies are measured. And where government funding is provided for core skills training, LLN practitioners may use the ACSF levels of performance to support applications to government agencies, report on learner progress, and evaluate program effectiveness. The use of the ACSF for these purposes facilitates national equity and accountability. It provides valid statistical feedback on the impact of government-funded programs that focus on core skills development. So right across the board with all of these 5 things, we can see how the ACSF can be used consistently and universally across Australia to identify what's required in terms of promoting LLN, tracking progress, and reporting on outcomes. A lot of value. Good on you, ACSF.